everyone, it's Miss Barnard. Parents just been talking to me about the line method for timesing and dividing by 10, and she wasn't quite sure how to do it. So I'm just going to show you what we teach the children in year 6. So if we've got, well, let's say 1.2 times by 10, when we times by 10, everything gets 10 times bigger, and every digit, moves one place over to the left. So what we do is we put one line, which is why it's called the line method, to the left of our first digit here. We put the decimal point in line underneath, and then we move everything along. So the 1 now goes into the tens column, and the 2 comes along into the ones column. It does help if you've got squared paper or you've drawn grid lines to do this, so you make sure you're moving into the right place. So just as another example then, let's have 3.4 times by 100. So this time when we times by 100, everything moves 2 places to the left. So decimal point always in the same place, and then we have 2 lines next to the 3, next to the first digit over here. So then we move everything across underneath, and take this number first, take the one next to the line first. So the 3 goes into the hundreds column. The 4 just follows it along. Hopefully you can see it's moved 2 places, 1, 2. And then here is our ones column. Now we can't leave that empty, so we need to put a 0 in there as our placeholder. Do you one with a slightly different number? So let's have 0.56 this time, and we'll times that by 1,000. So now here we've got 1, 2, 3 lines, 1, 2, 3 zeros. So when we times by 1,000, the digits move 3 places to the left. We'll put a decimal point in first, all lined up. Now in this case, I'm moving the 0 first. So I'm going 1, 2, 3 with the 0. The 5 then will just follow it on. So we're coming underneath the line here, and the 6 will follow on. Now, because we've lined everything up, I can now see, again, my ones column is currently empty. So I'm going to need to put a 0 in there as a placeholder. So if I just look at the 5, it's moved 1, 2, 3 columns over to the left. Now, if we were writing this out as an answer, I'd only actually need to write out 560. That 0 there, as it's at the beginning of the number with nothing next to it, we can actually drop in our answer. So 560. Okay, hopefully you're still with me. We'll just have a look at dividing then. So it's essentially just the opposite. So we move the other way. So let's say 5.6, and we'll divide that by 10. I'm just going to pop that out the way over here. So we're dividing by 10. So this time our line is going here. So it goes to the right. When we divide by 10, everything gets 10 times smaller. So we need to move everything to the place value column to the right. So underneath we line up our decimal point, and the 6 goes under the line we've just added in. The 5 moves across one place value column. And now here we cannot leave this empty. This is the ones column. It's got to have something in it. So we'll have a 0 just there. Just do you an example with a non-decimal number on that one. So let's have, I'll just pop it over here, I think. Let's have 62 divided by 10. So on that one, we'd get the children to put in a decimal point there, okay? We don't always write them in. When it's just 62 on its own and we're not doing anything, we wouldn't put a decimal point there. But in this case, we know that we need it. This is our ones column. Anything happening after this is a fraction. It's a decimal number. So we're dividing by 10. We're moving one place to the right. So they need to put in the decimal point and the line. So the 2 now moves one place along to the right. So it goes from the ones column into the tenths column. Sorry, I forgot to put the decimal point underneath there. I would always try and do that first so that you remember what you're doing. And then the 6 just comes 1 over into the ones column. So 62 divided by 10 is 6.2. So we'll do a dividing by 100 while we're here. Let's have 34.2 divided by 100. So we're dividing by 100. I'm just going to get that out of the way again over there. That's what we're doing. So 100, everything gets 100 times smaller. We're moving 2 places to the right. So 2 lines. Now, unlike the 62, this one's already got a decimal point in, so I don't need to think about putting that in. So the 2 we take first. So if you remember on this side, we took the 3 first, the 1 first, the 0 first. It's whatever's next to the line. So we're going to move the 2 first. So we move the 2 over and it ends up underneath the line over here. It's gone 1, 2 places. We move the 4 over, it just follows on. So it's going to be in this one. Again, we can count it 1, 2 places. And the 3 is going 2 places as well to end up in the 10th column. Now, again, much like this example, I cannot leave nothing in the ones column. So I need to put a 0 in there. It's okay to have nothing in the tens column. There's nothing else here. That's fine. But you need that place value holder there for the ones column. So that's dividing by 100. And we'll finish it off with dividing by 1,000. Let's see. Let's have 791. We'll do one that's a whole number again. So 791 dividing by 1,000. So if we divide by 1,000, we're moving everything 3 places, 3 zeros, 3 places to the right. Always to the right when you're dividing, it's getting smaller. Now, again, this is a whole number, so I'm going to have to put my decimal point in before I do my lines. 1, 2, 3 lines. If you happen to have squared paper at home, perfect. If not, just try and keep everything as neat as you can, which hopefully I'm managing. So I'll put my decimal point in underneath. Try and remember to do that. So the 1 we take first, it's the one next to the line. So it goes from the ones column 1, 2, 3 places over into our thousandths column, which we've been learning about in maths this week. The 9 follows it on. I'll just count that for you so you can see. 1, 2, 3 places. And the 7 follows on. And we've got that same issue there of a 0. I'm actually just going to do you one more example with that 1,000 just to show you something here. So let's say we've got 50, let's have 52, and we're dividing it by 1,000 again. So I need my decimal point here, and I need my 3 lines. Decimal point underneath. So if I move the 2, it ends up under the first line here. It's gone into the thousandths column, and the 5 goes over there. So why I wanted to show you this one is because now I've actually got 2 spaces here and here that I cannot have empty. So I've got to have a 0 in that 10th column, and I've got to have a 0 in the ones column. So if you do end up with a number like that, make sure you get those place value holders in. All right, hopefully that has made some sense to you. All right, thanks. See you later.